his name there. Even to his habitation shall you seek, and there you shall come. And there you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand, and your vows and your freewill offerings, and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks. And there you shall eat before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice in all that you put your hand to you, and your households wherein the Lord your God has blessed you. You shall not do after all the things that we do here this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. For you are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which the Lord your God gives you. But when you go over Jordan and dwell in the land which the Lord your God gives you to inherit, and when he gives you rest from all your enemies round about, so that you dwell in safety, there shall be a place which the Lord your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. There shall you bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes, and the heave offering of your hand, and all your choice vows which you vow to the Lord. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you and your sons and your daughters, and your men servants and your maidservants, and the Levite that is inside your gates, for as much as he has no part nor inheritance with you. Take heed to yourself that you offer not your burnt offerings in every place that you see, but in the place which the Lord shall choose in one of your tribes. There you shall offer your burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I command you. Notwithstanding, you may kill and eat flesh in all your gates, whatsoever your soul lusts after, according to the blessing of the Lord your God, which he has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and as of the hart. Only you shall not eat the blood, you shall pour it upon the earth as water. You may not eat inside your gates the tithe of your corn, or of your wine, or of your oil, or the firstlings of your herds, or of your flock, nor any of your vows which you vow, nor your freewill offerings or heave offering of your hand. But you must eat them before the Lord your God in the place which the Lord your God shall choose you, and your son and your daughter and your manservant and your maidservant and the Levite that is inside your gates, and you shall rejoice before the Lord your God in all that you put your hands to. Take heed to yourself that you forsake not the Levite as long as you live upon the earth. When the Lord your God shall enlarge your border as he has promised you, and you shall say, I will eat flesh because your soul longs to eat flesh, you may eat flesh whatsoever your soul lusts after. If the place which the Lord your God has chosen to put his name there be too far from you, then you shall kill of your herd and of your flock which the Lord has given you, as I have commanded you, and you shall eat in your gates whatsoever your soul lusts after. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so you shall eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that you eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and you may not eat the life with the flesh. You shall not eat it, you shall pour it upon the earth as water. You shall not eat it, that it may go well with you and with your children after you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. Only your holy things which you have and your vows you shall take, and go to the place which the Lord shall choose. And you shall offer your burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood, upon the altar of the Lord your God, and the blood of your sacrifices shall be poured out upon the altar of the Lord your God, and you shall eat the flesh. Observe and hear all these words which I command you, that it may go well with you and with your children after you forever, when you do that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord your God. When the Lord your God shall cut off the nations from before you, where you go to possess them, and you succeed them and dwell in their land, take heed to yourself that you be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before you, and that you inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. You shall not do so to the Lord your God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hates have they done to their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burned in the fire to their gods. What things soever I command you, observe to do it. You shall not add thereto, nor diminish from it.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spoke to you, saying, let us go after other gods, which you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not hearken to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God proves you to know whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and cling to him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way which the Lord your God commanded you to walk in. So shall you put the evil away from the midst of you. If your brother, the son or your mother, or your son or your daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your friend, which is as your own soul, enticed you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known, you nor your fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, near to you or far off from you, from the one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth, you shall not consent to him, nor hearken to him, neither shall your eye pity him, neither shall you spare, neither shall you conceal him. But you shall surely kill him, your hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones, that he die, because he has sought to thrust you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. If you shall hear say in one of your cities, which the Lord your God has given you to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known. Then shall you inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought among you, you shall surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And you shall gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shall burn with fire the city, all the spoil thereof, every piece, for the Lord your God, and it shall be a heap forever. It shall not be built again. And there shall cling nothing of the cursed thing to your hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show you mercy, and have compassion upon you, and multiply you, as he has sworn to your fathers. When you shall hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, to keep all his commandments, which I command you this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord your God. You are the children of the Lord your God. You shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead, for you are a holy people to the Lord your God, and the Lord has chosen you to be a treasured possession to himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. You shall not eat an abominable thing. These are the beasts which you shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the stag, the gazelle, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the antelope, and the wild ox, and the mountain sheep, and every beast that parts the hoof, and splits the cleft into two claws, and chews the cud among the beasts, that you shall eat. Nevertheless, these you shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel, and the hare, and the coney, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof, therefore they are unclean to you. And the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet chews not the cud. It is unclean to you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These you shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall you eat, and whatsoever has not fins and scales you may not eat. It is unclean to you. Of all clean birds you shall eat. But these are they of which you shall not eat: the eagle, the ostrich, and the osprey, and the buzzard, and the falcon, and the vulture after its kind, and every raven after its kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the gull, and the hawk after its kind, the little owl, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gear eagle, and the cormorant, and the stork, and the heron after its kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. And every creeping thing that flies is unclean to you. They shall not be eaten. But of all clean fowls you may eat. You shall not eat anything that dies of itself. You shall give it to the stranger that is in your gates, and that he may eat it. Or you may sell it to an alien, for you are a holy people to the Lord your God. And you shall not see the kid in its mother's milk. You shall truly tithe all the increase of your seed that the field brings forth by year. And you shall eat before the Lord your God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of your corn, of your wine, and of your oil, and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks, that you may learn to fear the Lord your God always. And if the way be too long for you, so that you are not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from you, which the Lord your God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord your God has blessed you, then shall you turn it into money, and bind up the money in your hand, and shall go to the place which the Lord your God shall choose. And you shall bestow that money for whatsoever your soul lust after, for oxen, sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever your soul desires. And you shall eat there before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your households. And the Levite that is inside your gates, you shall not forsake him, for he has no part nor inheritance with you. At the end of the 3 years, you shall bring forth all the tithe of your increase the same year, and shall lay it up inside your gates. And the Levite, because he has no part nor inheritance with you, and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow which are inside your gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hand which you do. At the end of every 7 years, you shall make a release, a remission of debts. And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lends anything to his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact it of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is called the Lord's release. Of a foreigner you may exact it again, but that which is yours with your brother your hand shall release, save when there shall be no more poor among you, for the Lord shall greatly bless you in the land which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance to possess it. Only if you carefully hearken to the voice of the Lord your God to observe to do all these commandments which I command you this day. For the Lord your God blesses you as he promised you, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall never borrow. And you shall reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over you. If there be among you a poor man of one of your brethren inside of your gates in your land, which the Lord your God gives you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor brother, but you shall open your hand wide to him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his needs in that which he wants. Beware that there not be a thought in your wicked heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and your eye be evil against your poor brother, and you give him nothing, and he cry to the Lord against you, and it be sin to you. You shall surely give him, and your heart shall not be grieved when you give to him, because that for this thing the Lord your God shall bless you in all your works, and all that you put your hand to do. For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall open your hand wide to your brother, to the poor, and to the needy in your land. As if your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, be sold to you and served you 6 years, then in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. And when you send him out free from you, you shall not let him go away empty. You shall furnish him liberally out of your flock, and out of your threshing floor, and out of your winepress, of that wherewith the Lord your God has blessed you, you shall give to him. And you shall remember that you were a bondman in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. Therefore I command you this thing today. And it shall be, if he say to you, I will not go away from you, because he loved you in your house, because he is well with you. Then you shall take an awl and thrust it through his ear to the door, and he shall be your servant forever. And also to your maidservant you shall do likewise. It shall not seem hard to you when you send him away free from you, for he has been worth a double hired servant to you, in serving you 6 years, and the Lord your God shall bless you in all that you do. All the firstling males that come out of your herd and of the flock you shall sanctify to the Lord your God. You shall not do work with the firstling of your bullock, nor shear the firstling of your sheep. You shall eat it before the Lord your God year by year in the place which the Lord shall choose, you and your household. And if there be any blemish therein, as if in to be lame or blind or have any ill blemish, you shall not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. You shall eat it inside your gates. The unclean and the clean person shall eat it alike, as the gazelle and as the stag. Only you shall not eat the blood thereof. You shall pour it out upon the ground as water.
Observe the months of Abib, and keep the Passover to the Lord your God. For in the month of Abib the Lord your God brought you forth out of Egypt by night. You shall therefore sacrifice the Passover to the Lord your God of the flock and the herd in the place which the Lord shall choose to place his name there. You shall eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction, for you came forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that you may remember the day when you came forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of your life. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with you in all your coasts 7 days, neither shall there anything of the flesh which you sacrifice the first day at evening remain all night until the morning. You may not sacrifice the Passover inside any of your gates, which the Lord your God gives you. But at the place which the Lord your God shall choose to place his name in, there you shall sacrifice the Passover at evening, at the going down of the sun, at the season that you came forth out of Egypt. And you shall roast and eat it in the place which the Lord your God shall choose, and you shall turn in the morning and go to your tents. 6 days shall you eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Lord your God. You shall do no work therein. 7 weeks shall you number to you. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as you begin to put the sickle to the corn. And you shall keep the Feast of Weeks to the Lord your God with a tribute of a freewill offering of your hand, which you shall give to the Lord your God, according as the Lord your God has blessed you. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, and your son, and your daughter, and your manservant, and your maidservant, and the Levite that is inside your gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which the Lord your God has chosen to place his name there. And you shall remember that you were a bondman in Egypt, and you shall observe and do these statutes. You shall observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that you have gathered in your corn and your wine. And you shall rejoice in your feast, you and your son, and your daughter, and your manservant, and your maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are inside your gates. 7 days shall you keep a solemn feast to the Lord your God in the place which the Lord shall choose, because the Lord your God shall bless you in all your increase, and in all the works of your hands. Therefore you shall surely rejoice. 3 times in a year shall all your males appear before the Lord your God in the place which he shall choose, in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and in the Feast of Weeks, and in the Feast of Tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord your God which he has given you. Judges and officers shall you make you in all your gates which the Lord your God gives you throughout your tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. You shall not twist judgment. You shall not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift does blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. That which is altogether just shall you follow, that you may live and inherit the land which the Lord your God gives you. You shall not plant you a grove of any trees near the altar of the Lord your God, which you shall make. Neither shall you set up any image which the Lord your God hates. You shall not sacrifice to the Lord your God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination to the Lord your God. If there be found among you inside any of your gates which the Lord your God gives you, man or woman, that has wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord your God in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and if it be told you, and you have heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then you shall bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing, to your gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or 3 witnesses, shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of all the people. So you shall put the evil away from among you. If there arise a matter too hard for you in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy inside your gates, then you shall arise and get you into the place which the Lord your God shall choose. And you shall come to the priests, the Levites, and to the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of judgment. And you shall do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Lord shall choose shall show you. And you shall observe to do according to all that they inform you. According to the sentence of the law which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you, you shall do. You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken to the priest that stands to minister there before the Lord your God, or to the judge, even that man shall die, and you shall put away the evil from Israel. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. When you are come to the land which the Lord your God gives you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me, you shall in any wise set him king over you, whom the Lord your God shall choose. One from among your brethren shall you set king over you. You may not set a stranger over you, which is not your brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord has said to you, you shall hereafter return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sits upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them, that his heart not be lifted above his brethren, and that he not turn aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children, in the midst of Israel. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he has said to them. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give to the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw. The first fruit also of your corn, of your wine, and of your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep shall you give him. For the Lord your God has chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And if a Levite come from any of your gates out of all Israel, where he sojourned, and come to all the desire of his mind to the place which the Lord shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren the Levites do, which stand there before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat beside that which comes from the sale of his patrimony. When you are come into the land which the Lord your God gives you, you shall not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination to the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord your God does drive them out from before you. You shall be perfect with the Lord your God. For these nations which you shall possess hearkened to observers of times and to diviners. But as for you, the Lord your God has not permitted you to do so. The Lord raise up to you a prophet from the midst of you, of your brethren, like to me. To him you shall hearken, according to all that you desired of the Lord your God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And the Lord said to me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like to you, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken to my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, How shall we know the word which the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord has not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You shall not be afraid of him.
Never want to leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything more than anything that you can do. I just want you. I'm sorry when I've just gone through the motions. I'm sorry when I just sang another song. Well, take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you. And I'm sorry when I come with my agenda. I'm sorry when I forgot that you're enough. Well, take me back to where
Lord your God has cut off the nations, whose land the Lord your God gives you, and you succeed them, and dwell in their cities and in their houses, you shall separate 3 cities for you in the midst of your land, which the Lord your God gives you to possess it. You shall prepare a way and divide the coasts of your land, which the Lord your God gives you to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee there. And this is the case of the slayer, which shall flee there, that he may live, whoso kills his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in times past. As when a man goes into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand brought a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips from the helve, and lights upon his neighbor, that he die, he shall flee to one of those cities and live, lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer, while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hated him not in time past. Wherefore I command you, saying, you shall separate 3 cities for you. And if the Lord your God enlarge your coasts, as he has sworn to your fathers, and give you all the land which he promised to give to your fathers, if you shall keep all these commandments to do them, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to walk ever in his ways, then shall you add 3 cities more for you, beside these 3, that innocent blood be not shed in your land, which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance, and so blood be upon you. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally that he die, and flees into one of these cities, then the elders of his city shall send him and bring him from there, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Your eye shall not pity him, but you shall put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with you. You shall not remove your neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in your inheritance, which you shall inherit in the land that the Lord your God gives you to possess it. 1 witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men, between whom the controversy is, shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and he has testified falsely against his neighbor, then shall you do to him as he had thought to have done to his brother. So shall you put the evil away from among you. And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall from now on commit no more any such evil among you. And your eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. When you go out to battle against your enemies, and see horses and chariots, and the people more than you, be not afraid of them. For the Lord your God is with you, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when you are come near to the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak to the people, and shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, you approach this day to battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be you terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goes with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak to the people, saying, What man is there that has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that has planted a vineyard and has not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man eat of it. And what man is there that has betrothed a wife and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further to the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return to his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well of his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking to the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When you come near to a city and fight against it, then proclaim peace to it. And it shall be, if it make you answer of peace, and open to you, then it shall be, that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries to you, and they shall serve you. And if it will make no peace with you, but will make war against you, then you shall besiege it. When the Lord your God has delivered it into your hands, you shall smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the woman, and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shall you take to yourself, and you shall eat the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given you. Thus shall you do to all the cities which are very far off from you, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord your God does give you for an inheritance. You shall save alive nothing that breathes. You shall utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, as the Lord your God has commanded you, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations, which they have done to their gods, so should you sin against the Lord your God. When you shall besiege a city a long time, and making war against it to take it, you shall not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them. For you may eat of them, and shall not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege. Only the trees which you know of, they be not trees for meat. You shall destroy and cut them down, and you shall build bulwarks against the city that makes war with you until it is subdued. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord your God gives you to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who has slain him, then your elders and your judges shall come forth, and they shall measure to the cities which are around him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next to the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take a heifer, which has not been wrought with, and which has not been drawn in the yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer to a rough valley, which is neither aired nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord your God has chosen to minister to them, and to bless him in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the elders of the city that are next to the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, to your people Israel, whom you have redeemed, and lay not innocent blood to your people of Israel's charge. And the blood shall be forgiven them. And shall you put away the guilt of the innocent blood from among you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. When you go forth to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God has delivered them into your hands, and you have taken them captive, you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and have a desire to her, that you would have her to be your wife. Then you shall bring her home to your house, and she shall shave your head and pare her nails. And she shall put a raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in your house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that you shall go into her, and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. And it shall be, if you have no delight in her, then you shall let her go where she will, but you shall not sell her at all for money. You shall not make her merchandise of her, because you have humbled her. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son of hers that was hated, then it shall be, which he makes his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he has, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken to them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out to the elders of the city and to the gate of his place. And they shall say to the elders of his city, This is our son, is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall you put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but you shall in any wise bury him that day, for that he is hanged is a curse from God, that your land be not defiled, which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance.
You shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide yourself from them. You shall in any case bring them again to your brother. And if your brother be not near to you, or if you know him not, then you shall bring it to your own house. And it shall be with you until your brother seek after it, and you shall restore it to him again. In like manner shall you do with his ass, and so shall you do it with his raiment, and with all lost thing of your brother's, which he has lost and you have found. Shall you do likewise? You may not hide yourself. You shall not see your brother's ass or his ox fall down by the way, and hide yourself from them. You shall surely help him to lift them up again. The woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination to the Lord your God. If a bird's nest chance to be before you in the way in any tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, you shall not take the dam with the young, but you shall in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to you, that it may be well with you, and that you may prolong your days. When you build a new house, then you shall make a battlement for your roof, that you bring not blood upon your house, if any man fall from there. You shall not sow your vineyard with divers seeds, lest the fruit of your seed which you have sown, and the fruit of your vineyard be defiled. You shall not plow with an ox and an ass together. You shall not wear a garment of divers sorts, as of woolen and linen together. You shall make fringes upon the four quarters, wherewith you cover yourself. If any man take a wife and go in to her and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity to the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel's father shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man as a wife, and he hates her. And lo, he has given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not your daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them to the father of the damsel, because he has brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of the virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out on the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she has wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shall you put evil away from among you. If a man be found lying with a woman married to her husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall you put away evil from Israel. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed to a man, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then you shall bring them both out to the gate of the city, and you shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he has humbled his neighbor's wife. So you shall put away evil from among you. But if a man had a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But to the damsel you shall do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rise against his neighbor and slays him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give to the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. He that is wounded in the stones, or has privy member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An illegitimate child shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Because they met you, not with bread and with water in the way, when you came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired you against you, Balaam, the son of Beor, Pethor of Mesopotamia, to curse you. Nevertheless, the Lord your God would not hearken to Balaam, but the Lord your God turned the curse into a blessing to you, because the Lord your God loved you. You shall not seek their peace, nor their prosperity all your days forever. You shall not abhor the Edomite, for he is your brother. You shall not abhor the Egyptian, because you were a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in the 3rd generation. When the host goes forth against your enemies, then keep you from every wicked thing. If there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chances him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come inside the camp. But it shall be, when evening comes on, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. You shall have a place also outside of the camp, where you shall go forth abroad. And you shall have a paddle upon your weapon, and it shall be, when you will ease yourself abroad, you shall dig therewith, and shall turn back, and cover that which comes from you. For the Lord your God walks in the midst of your camp to deliver you, to give up your enemies before you. Therefore shall your camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in you, and turn away from you. You shall not deliver to his master the servant which is escaped from his master to you. He shall dwell with you, even among you, in that place which he shall choose in one of your gates, where it likes him best. You shall not oppress him. Therefore shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You shall not bring the hire of a whore, or the price of a dog, into the house of the Lord your God for any vow. For even both these are abomination to the Lord your God. You shall not lend upon usury to your brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. To a stranger you may lend upon usury, but to your brother you shall not lend upon usury, that the Lord your God may bless you in all that you set your hand to, in the land where you go to possess it. When you shall vow a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not slack to pay it, for the Lord your God will surely require it of you, and it would be sin in you. But if you shall forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in you. That which is gone out of your lips you shall keep and perform, even a free will offering, according as you vowed unto the Lord your God, which you have promised with your mouth. When you come into your neighbor's vineyard, then you may eat grapes, your fill at your own pleasure, but you shall not put any in your vessel. When you come into the standing corn of your neighbor, then you may pluck the ears with your hand, but you shall not move a sickle to your neighbor's standing corn. When a man has taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he has found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. When she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife. Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled, for that is abomination before the Lord. And you shall not curse the land to sin, which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance. When a man has taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he has taken. No man shall take the nether or the upper millstone to pledge, for he takes a man's life to pledge. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and makes merchandise of him or sells him, then that thief shall die, and you shall put evil away from among you. Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that you observe diligently, and do according to all that the priests, the Levites, shall teach you, as I commanded them, so you shall observe to do. Remember what the Lord your God did to Miriam by the way. After that, you were to come forth out of Egypt. When you do lend your brother anything, you shall not go into his house and bring his pledge. You shall stand abroad, and the man to whom you do lend shall bring out the pledge abroad to you. If the man be poor, you shall not sleep with his pledge. In any case, you shall deliver him the pledge again when the sun goes down, that he may sleep in his own raiment and bless you. And it shall be righteousness to you before the Lord your God. You shall not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of your brethren or of your strangers that are in your land inside your gates. At his day you shall give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and sets his heart upon it, lest he cry against you to the Lord, and it be sin to you. The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. You shall not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge. But you shall remember that you were a bondman in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. For I commanded you to do this thing. When you cut down your harvest in your field, and have forgotten a sheaf in the field, you shall not go again to bring it. And it shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands. When you beat your olive tree, you shall not go over to the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it afterward. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. And you shall remember that you were a bondman in the land of Egypt. Therefore, I command you to do this thing.
If there be a controversy between men, and they come to judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down, and to be beaten before his face, according to his fault, by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest, if he should exceed, and beat him above these with many stripes, then your brother should seem vile to you. You shall not muzzle the ox when he treads out the corn. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without to a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go into her, and take her to him as a wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother to her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she bears shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name not be put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate to the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up to his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him, and speak to him. And if he stands to it, and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come to him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done to that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that has his shoe loosed. When men strive together one with another, and the wife of the one draws near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smite him, and puts forth her hand, and takes him by the secrets, then you shall cut off her hand. Your eye shall not pity her. You shall not have in your bags divers weights, and a great and a small. You shall not have in your house divers measures, a great and a small. But you shall have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shall you have, that your days may be lengthened in the land which the Lord your God gives you. For all that you do such things, and all that do unrighteously, are an abomination to the Lord your God. Remember what Amalek did to you by the way, when you were come forth out of Egypt, how he met you by the way, and smote the hindmost of you, even all that were feeble behind you, when you were faint and weary, and he feared not God. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord your God has given you rest from all your enemies round about, in the land which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance to possess it, that you shall blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, you shall not forget it. And it shall be, when you are come in to the land which the Lord your God gives you for an inheritance, and possess it, and dwell therein, that you shall take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which you shall bring of your land, that the Lord your God gives you, and shall put it in a basket, and shall go to the place which the Lord your God shall choose to place his name there. And you shall go to the priest that shall be in those days, and say to him, I profess this day to the Lord your God that I am come to the country which the Lord swore to our fathers for to give us. And the priest shall take the basket out of your hand, and set it down before the altar of the Lord your God. And you shall speak and say before the Lord your God, a Syrian ready to perish was my father, and went down to Egypt, and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. And the Egyptians evil entreated us, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried to the Lord of our fathers, the Lord heard our voice, and looked on our affliction, and our labor, and our oppression. And the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great terribleness, and with signs, and with wonders. And he has brought us into this place, and has given us this land, even a land that flows with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land, which you, O Lord, have given me, and you shall set it before the Lord your God, and worship before the Lord your God. And you shall rejoice in every good thing which the Lord your God has given to you, and to your house, you and the Levite, and the stranger that is among you. When you have made an end of tithing all the tithes of your increase the third year, which is the year of tithing, and have given it to the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat inside your gates and be filled. Then you shall say before the Lord your God, I have brought away the hallowed things out of my house, and also have given them to the Levite, and to the stranger, to the fatherless, and to the widow, according to all your commandments which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your commandments, neither have I forgotten them. I have not eaten thereof in my mourning, neither have I taken away aught thereof for any unclean use, nor given aught thereof for the dead, but I have hearkened to the voice of the Lord my God, and have done according to all you have commanded me. Look down from your holy habitation, from heaven, and bless your people Israel, and the land which you have given us, as you swore to our fathers, a land that flows with milk and honey. This day the Lord your God commanded you to do these statutes and judgments. You shall therefore keep and do them with all your heart and with all your soul. You have avouched the Lord this day to be your God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and to hearken to his voice. And the Lord has avouched you this day to be his peculiar people, as he has promised you, and that you should keep all his commandments, and to make you high above all nations which he has made, in praise, and in name, and in honor, and that you may be a holy people to the Lord your God, as he has spoken. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, Keep all the commandments which I command you this day. And it shall be on the day when you shall pass over Jordan to the land which the Lord your God gives you, that you shall set up great stones and plaster them with plaster. And you shall write upon them all the words of this law when you are passed over, that you may go in to the land which the Lord your God gives you, a land that flows with milk and honey, as the Lord of your fathers has promised you. Therefore, it shall be when you be gone over Jordan, that you shall set up these stones, which I command you this day, in Mount Ebal, and you shall plaster them with plaster. And there you shall build an altar to the Lord your God, an altar of stones. You shall not lift up any iron tool upon them. You shall build the altar of the Lord your God of whole stones, and you shall offer burnt offerings thereon to the Lord your God. And you shall offer peace offerings, and shall eat there, and rejoice before the Lord your God. And you shall write these stones all the words of this law very plainly. And Moses and the priests, the Levites, spoke to all Israel, saying, Take heed and hearken, O Israel, this day you are become the people of the Lord your God. You shall therefore obey the voice of the Lord your God, and do his commandments and statutes, which I command you this day. And Moses charged the people the same day, saying, These shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people, when you are come over Jordan, Simeon and Levi, and Judah and Issachar, and Joseph and Benjamin. And these shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse Reuben, Gad, and Asher, and Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak and say to the men of Israel with a loud voice, Cursed be the man that makes any graven or molten image, an abomination to the Lord, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and put in it a secret place. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. Cursed be he that sets light by his father or his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that removes his neighbor's landmark, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that makes the blind to wander out of the way, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that perverts the judgment of the stranger, fatherless, and widow, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lies with his father's wife, because he uncovers his father's skirt, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lies with any manner of beast, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lies with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lies with his mother-in-law, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that smites his neighbor secretly, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that takes reward to slay the innocent person, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that confirms not all the words of this law to do them, and all the people shall say, Amen.
And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord your God, to observe and to do all of his commandments, which I command you this day, that the Lord your God will set you on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall hearken to the voice of the Lord your God. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your cattle, the increase of your cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. Blessed shall be your basket and your store. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. The Lord shall cause your enemies that rise up against you to be smitten before your face. There shall come out against you one way, and flee before you 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon you in your storehouses and in all that you set your hand to do. And he shall bless you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. The Lord shall establish you a holy people to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. And the Lord shall make you plenteous in goods, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your cattle, and in the fruit of your ground, in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give you. The Lord shall open to you his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand, and you shall lend to many nations, and you shall not borrow. And the Lord shall make you the head, and not the tail, and you shall be above only, and you shall not be beneath, if that you hearken to the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day to observe and to do them. And you shall not go aside from any of the words which I command you this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. Cursed shall you be your basket and your store. Cursed be the fruit of your body and the fruit of your land, the increase of your cattle and the flocks of your sheep. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall be you when you go out. The Lord shall send upon you cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that you set your hand to for to do, until you be destroyed, and until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doings, whereby you have forsaken me. The Lord shall make the pestilence cling to you, until he consumed you from off the land where you go to possess it. The Lord shall smite you with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue you until you perish. And your heaven that is over your head shall be brass, and the earth that is under you shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of your land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon you until you be destroyed. The Lord shall cause you to be smitten before your enemies. You shall go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And your carcass shall be meat to all fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The Lord will smite you with the botch of Egypt, and with the Amorites, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof you cannot be healed. The Lord shall smite you with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And you shall grope at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness, and you shall not prosper in your ways, and you shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save you. You shall betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You shall build a house, and you shall not dwell therein. You shall plant a vineyard, and shall not gather grapes thereof. Your ox shall be slain before your eyes, and you shall not eat thereof. Your ass shall be violently taken away from you before your face, and shall not be restored to you. Your sheep shall be given to your enemies, and you shall have none to rescue them. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. The fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nation which you know not eat up, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed always, so that you shall be mad for the sight of your eyes, which you shall see. The Lord shall smite you in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of your foot to the top of your head, so that you shall be mad. The Lord shall bring you and your king, which you shall set over you, to a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there shall serve you, and there shall you serve other gods, wood and stone. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where the Lord shall lead you. You shall carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. You shall plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. You shall have olive trees throughout all your coasts, but you shall not anoint yourself with the oil, for your olive shall cast its fruit. You shall father sons and daughters, but you shall not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All your trees and fruit of your land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is inside you shall get up above you very high, and you shall come down very low. He shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you, and shall pursue you and overtake you till you be destroyed, because you hearkened not to the voice of the Lord your God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for a sign and for a wonder, and upon your seed forever. Because you serve not the Lord your God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shall you serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against you in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until you have been destroyed. The Lord shall bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, or show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of your cattle and the fruit of your land until you be destroyed, which also shall not leave you either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of your cattle, or flocks of your sheep, until he have destroyed you. And he shall besiege you in all your gates, until your high and fenced walls come down, wherein you're trusted throughout all your land. And he shall besiege you in all your gates throughout all your land, which the Lord your God has given you. And you shall eat the fruit of your own body, the flesh of your sons and of your daughters, which the Lord your God has given you in the siege and in the straitness wherewith your enemies shall distress you. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So that he will not give to any of them the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he has nothing left in him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith your enemies shall distress you in all your gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that comes out of from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith your enemies shall distress you in your gates. If you will not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord your God, then the Lord will make your plagues wonderful, and plagues of your seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon you all the diseases of Egypt, which you were afraid of, and they shall cling to you. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon you until you be destroyed. And you shall be left few in number, whereas the stars of heaven for multitude, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing. And you shall be plucked from off the land where you go to possess it, and the Lord shall scatter you among all people, from the one end of the earth even to the other, and there you shall serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. But the Lord shall give you there a trembling heart, and failing eyes, and sorrow of mind, and your life shall hang in doubt before you. And you shall fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of your life. In the morning you shall say, would God it were evening, and at evening you shall say, would God it were morning. For the fear of your heart wherewith you shall fear, and for the sight of your eyes which you shall see. And the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spoke to you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. And Moses called to all Israel and said to them, You have seen all that the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land, the great temptations which your eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles. Yet the Lord has not given you a heart to perceive and eyes to see and ears to hear this day. I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not grown old upon you, and your shoe is not grown old upon your foot. You have not eaten bread, neither have you drunk wine or strong drink, that you might know that I am the Lord your God. And when you came to this place, Sihon the king of Heshbon and Og the king of Bashan came out against us to battle, and we smote them. And we took their land and gave it for an inheritance to the Reubenites, to the Gadites, and to half tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this covenant, and do them, that you may prosper in all that you do. You stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers, with them all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and your stranger that is in your camp, from the hewer of your wood to the drawer of your water, that you should enter into covenant with the Lord your God, and into his oath which the Lord your God makes with you this day, that he may establish you today for a people to himself, and that he may be to you a God, as he has said to you, and as he has sworn to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Neither with you only do I make this covenant on this earth and this oath, but with him that stands here with us this day before the Lord your God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. For you know how we have dwelt in the land of Egypt, how we came through the nations which you passed by, and you have seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them. Lest there should be among you man or woman or family or tribe, whose heart turns away this day from the Lord your God, to go and serve the gods of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that bears gall and wormwood. And it come to pass, when he hears the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my heart, to add drunkenness to thirst. The Lord will not spare him, but then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. And the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven. And the Lord shall separate him to evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the law, so that the generation to come of your children shall rise up after you, and the stranger that shall come from a far land shall say, when they see the plagues of that land and the sicknesses which the Lord had laid upon it, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nor bears, nor any grass grows therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, which the Lord overthrew in his anger and his wrath. Even all nations shall say, wherefore has the Lord done thus to this land? What means the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord God of their fathers, which he made with them, when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods, and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon you, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before you, and you shall call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you, and shall return to the Lord your God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command you this day, you and your children, and your with all your heart and with all your soul, that then the Lord your God will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you, and will return and gather you from all the nations where the Lord your God has scattered you. If any of yours be driven out to the outmost parts of heaven, from there will the Lord your God gather you, and from there he will bring you. And the Lord your God will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed. You shall possess it, and he will do you good, and multiply you above your fathers. And the Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed, to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, that you may live. And the Lord your God will put all these curses upon your enemies, and on them that hate you, which persecuted you. And you shall return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which are commanded this day. And the Lord your God will make you plenteous in every work of your hand, in the fruit of your body, in the fruit of your cattle, in the fruit of your land, for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers. If you shall hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, if you turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, for this commandment which I command you this day, it is not hidden from you, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that you should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. See, I have set before you this day life and good, death and evil. In that I command you this day to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And the Lord your God shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. But if your heart turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce to you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land where you pass over Jordan to go possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live, that you may love the Lord your God, that you may obey his voice, and that you may cling to him. For he is your life and the length of your days, that you may dwell in the land which the Lord sware to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. And Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel. And he said to them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord has said to me, you shall not go over this Jordan. The Lord your God, he will go before you, and he will destroy these nations from before you, and you shall possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before you, as the Lord has said. And the Lord shall do to them as he did to Sihon and to Og, kings of the Amorites, and to the land of them whom he destroyed. And the Lord shall give them up before your face, that you may do to them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, he it is that does go with you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you. And Moses called to Joshua, and said to him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of a good courage, for you must go with this people to the land which the Lord has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, he it is that does go before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you, neither forsake you. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And Moses wrote this law and delivered to the priests, the sons of Levi, which have the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and to all the elders of Israel. And Moses commanded them, saying, At the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, in the feast of the tabernacles, when all Israel is come to appear before the Lord your God, in the place which he shall choose, you shall read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women, children, and your stranger that is inside your gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law, and that their children, which have not known anything, may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as you live in the land where you go over Jordan to possess it. And the Lord said to Moses, Behold, your days approach that you must die. Call Joshua and present yourselves to the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a charge. And Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord said to Moses, Behold, you shall sleep with your fathers, and this people will rise up and go whoring with the gods of the strangers of the land where they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. And then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them. I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, Are not these evils come upon us, because our God is not among us? And I will surely hide my face in that day, for all the evils which they shall have wrought, in that they are turned to other gods. Now therefore, write this song for you and to teach to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, and that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. And when I shall have brought them this land, which I swore to their fathers, that flows with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves and become fat, they will turn to other gods and serve them, and provoke me and break my covenant. It shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles have befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination which they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swore. Moses therefore wrote this song the same day, and taught it to the children of Israel. And he gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge, and said, Be strong and of a good courage, for you shall bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I will be with you. And it came to pass, when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book, until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites, which bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, Take this book of the law, and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there for a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, you have been rebellious against the Lord. How much more after my death? Gather to me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to record against them. For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the works of your hands. And Moses spoke in the ears of all the congregation of Israel the words of this song until they were ended.
Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Holy, holy is He.
Give ear, O you heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe you greatness to our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a God of truth, and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Do you thus repay the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he your father that has bought you? Has he not made you and established you? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he will show you, your elders, and they will teach you. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritances. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirs up her nest, flutters over her young, spreads abroad her wings, takes them, bears them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields, and he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of cattle and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the bread of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and you did drink the pure blood of the grape. Jeshurun grew fat, and kicked you. You are grown fat. You are grown thick. You are covered with fatness. Then he forsook God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, and abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed to devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods who came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that fathered you, you are unmindful, and have forgotten God that formed you. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see that what their end shall be, for they are very froward generation, children in whom there is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn to the lowest level, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischiefs upon them. I will spend my arrows upon them. They shall be burned with hunger and devoured with burning heat and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword outside and terror inside shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs. I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord has not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock has sold them, and the Lord has shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies being judges. For their vine is the vine of Sodom, and the fields of Gomorrah, and their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps. Is not this laid up in store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongs vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people, and repent himself for his servants, when he sees that their power is gone, and there is nothing shut up or left. And he shall say, Where are their gods, their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lifted up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. Rejoice, O you nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful to his land and to his people. And Moses came and spoke all the words of this song in the ears of the people, he and Hosea the son of Nun. And Moses made an end of speaking all these words to Israel, and he said to them, Set your hearts to all the words which I testify among you this day, which you shall command your children to observe and to do all the words of this law. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life, and through this thing you shall produce your days in the land where you go over Jordan to possess it. And the Lord spoke to Moses that selfsame day, saying, Get you up into this mountain Abarim, to Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, that is opposite Jericho, and behold the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel for a possession. And die in the mount where you go up, and be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother died in Mount Or and was gathered to his people. Because you trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah, in the wilderness of Zin, because you sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet you shall see the land before you, but you shall not go there to the land which I give to the children of Israel. And this is the blessing wherein Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, The Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Thir to them. He shined forth from Mount Peran, and he came with thousands of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in your hand, and they sat down at your feet. Every one shall receive your words. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun, when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. Let Reuben live and not die. Let not his men be few. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him to his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be you a help to him from his enemies. And of Levi he said, Let your Thummim and your Urim be with your Holy One, whom you did prove at Massah, and with whom you did strive at the waters of Meribah. who said to his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed your word and kept your covenant. They shall teach Jacob your judgments, and Israel your law. They shall put incense before you, and whole burned sacrifice upon your altar. Bless, Lord, his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Smile through the loins of them that rise against him, and them that hate them, they rise not again. And of Benjamin he said, The beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew and for the deep that couches beneath, and for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, and for the precious things of earth, and fullness thereof, for the good will of him that dwelled in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the tens of thousands of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, as you're going out, and Issachar in your tents. They shall call the people of the mountain. There they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck of the abundance of the seas and of treasures hidden in the sand. And of Gad he said, Blessed be he that enlarged Gad, and dwells as a lion, and tears the arm with the crown of the head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated. And he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his judgments with Israel. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's whelp. He shall leap from Bashan. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessings of the Lord, possess you the west and the south. And of Asher he said, Let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Your shoes shall be iron and brass, and as your days, so shall your strength be. There is none like the God of Jeshurun, who rides upon the heaven in your help, and in his excellency on the sky. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before you, and shall say, Destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety, alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy are you, O Israel. Who is like to you, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of your help, and who is the sword of your excellency? And your enemies shall be found liars to you, and you shall tread upon their high places.
And Moses went up from the plains of Moab to the mountain of Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, that is opposite Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead to Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, and all the land of Judah to the utmost sea, and the south, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, to Zoar. And the Lord said to him, This is the land which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, I will give it to your seed. I have caused you to see it with your eyes, but you shall not go over there. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord. And he buried him in a land in a valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, but no man knows of his sepulchre to this day. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended. And Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands upon him. And the children of Israel hearkened to him, and did as the Lord commanded Moses. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like to Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, in all the signs and the wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land, and in all that mighty hand, and in all the great terror which Moses showed in the sight of all Israel. Now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spoke to Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses my servant is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given to you, as I said to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even to the great river, the river Euphrates, and all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. There shall not any man be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you, nor forsake you. Be strong and of a good courage, for to this people shall you divide for an inheritance the land which I swore to your fathers to give them. Only be you strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success. Have not I commanded you? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be you dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the host, and command the people, saying, Prepare you victuals, for within 3 days you shall pass over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land, which the Lord your God gives you to possess it. And to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh spoke Joshua, saying, Remember the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, saying, The Lord your God has given you rest, and has given you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side Jordan, but you shall pass before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them, until the Lord has given your brethren rest, as he has given you, and they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God gives them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession and enjoy it, which Moses the Lord's servant gave you on this side Jordan toward the sun rising. And they answered Joshua, saying, All that you command us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. According as we hearken to Moses in all things, so will we hearken to you. Only the Lord your God be with you, as he was with Moses. Whosoever he be that does rebel against your commandment, and will not hearken to your words in all that you command him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of a good courage. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, Go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into a harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in here tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to you, which are entered into your house, for they come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, there came men to me, but I knew not where they were. And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Where the men went, I know not. Pursue after them quickly, for you shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan, to the fords. And as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up to them upon the roof. And she said to the men, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above, and in earth beneath. Now therefore I pray you, swear to me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that you will also show kindness to my father's house, and give me a true token, and that you will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered her, Our life for yours, if you utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord has given us this land, that we will deal kindly and truly with you. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelled upon the wall. And she said to them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned, and afterward you may go your way. And the men said to her, We will be blameless of this your oath, which you have made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, you shall bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which you did let us down by, and you shall bring your father and your mother and your brethren and all your father's household home to you. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with you in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if you utter this our business, then we will be quit of your oath which you have made us to swear. And she said, According to your words, so be it. And then she sent them away, and they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came to the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the 2 men returned, and descended from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Joshua the son of Nun, and told him all things that befell them. And they said to Joshua, Truly the Lord has delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us.
And Joshua rose early in the morning, and they removed from Shittim and came to Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they passed over. And it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the host, and they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then you shall remove from your place and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near to it, that you may know the way by which you must go, for you have not passed this way heretofore. And Joshua said to the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. And Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant, and pass over before the people. And they took up the ark of the covenant, and went before the people. And the Lord said to Joshua, This day will I begin to magnify you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. And you shall command the priests that bear the ark of the covenant, saying,
When you are come to the brink of the water of Jordan, you shall stand still in Jordan. And Joshua said to the children of Israel, Come here and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, Hereby you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passes over before you into Jordan. Now therefore, take you 12 men out of the tribes of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of Jordan, that the waters of Jordan shall be cut off from the waters that come down from above, and they shall stand upon a heap. And it came to pass, when the people removed from their tents to pass over Jordan, and the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as they that bore the ark were come to Jordan, and the feet of the priests that bore the ark were dipped in the brim of the water, for the Jordan overflows all its banks all the time of harvest, that the waters which came down from above stood and rose up upon a heap very far from the city Adam, that is beside Zaratan, and those that came down toward the sea of the plain, even the salt sea, failed and were cut off, and the people passed over right against Jericho. And the priests that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan, and all the Israelites passed over on dry ground until all the people were passed clean over Jordan. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean passed over Jordan, that the Lord spoke to Joshua, saying, Take you 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe a man, and command you them, saying, Take you here out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and you shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where you shall lodge this night. Then Joshua called the 12 men whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, out of every tribe a man, and Joshua said to them, Pass over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of Jordan, and take you up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean you by these stones? Then you shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it passed over Jordan, the waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be a memorial to the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones out of the midst of Jordan, as the Lord spoke to Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them to the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. And Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests which bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there to this day. For the priests which bore the ark stood in the midst of Jordan until everything was finished that the Lord commanded Joshua to speak to the people, according to all that Moses commanded Joshua, and the people hasted and passed over. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean passed over, that the ark of the Lord passed over, and the priests in the presence of the people. And the children of Reuben, and the children of Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh passed over, armed before the children of Israel, as Moses spoke to them. About 40,000 prepared for war passed over before the Lord to battle to the plains of Jericho. On that day the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. And the Lord spoke to Joshua, saying, Command the priests that bear the ark of the testimony that they come up out of Jordan. Joshua therefore commanded the priests, saying, Come you up out of Jordan. And it came to pass, when the priests that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord were come up out of the midst of the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet were lifted up to the dry land, and the waters of Jordan returned to their place, and flowed over all its banks, as they did before. And the people came up out of Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped at Gilgal, in the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan did Joshua pitch in Gilgal. And he spoke to the children of Israel, saying, When your children shall ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on dry land. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you, until you were passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us, until we were gone over. That all the people of the earth might know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that you might fear the Lord your God forever. And it came to pass, when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of the Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of the Jordan from before the children of Israel, until we were passed over, that their heart melted, neither was there spirit in them any more because of the children of Israel. At that time the Lord said to Joshua, make you sharp knives, and circumcise again the children of Israel a second time. And Joshua made him sharp knives, and circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskins. And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise all the people that came out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way after they came out of Egypt. Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war which came out of Egypt were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, to whom the Lord swore that he would not show them the land which the Lord swore to their fathers that he would give us, a land that flows with milk and honey. And their children, whom he raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people, that they abode in their places in the camp till they were whole. And the Lord said to Joshua, this day I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of the place is called Gilgal to this day. And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal, and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the selfsame day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the old corn of the land. Neither had the children of Israel manna any more, but they did eat of the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man opposite him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said him, are you for us or for our adversaries? And he said, nay, but as captain of the hosts of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship, and said to him, what says my Lord to his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said to Joshua, loose your shoe from off your foot, for the place whereon you stand is holy. And Joshua did so.
Now Joshua was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out, and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, see, I have given into your hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And you shall compass the city, all you men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shall you do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns, and the 7th day you shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said to them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said to the people, pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken to the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the rearward came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, you shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you, shout, then shout shall you. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city, going about it once, and they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. But the rearward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the 2nd day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua said to the people, Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And you in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest you make yourselves accursed when you take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated to the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priests blew with the trumpets, and it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that all the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said to the 2 men that had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house, and bring out from there the woman and all that she has, as you swore to her. And the young men that were spies went in, and brought out Rahab and her father and mother, and her brethren and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred, and left them outside the camp of Israel. And they burned the city with fire, and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold, and the vessels of brass and of iron, they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua saved Rahab the harlot alive, and her father's household, and all that she had, and she dwells in Israel even to this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And Joshua adjured them at the time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that rises up and builds the city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in, and his firstborn and in his youngest son shall set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his flame was noised throughout all the country.
But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing. For Achan the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, and the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah took of the accursed thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, and the east side of Bethel, and spoke to them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said to him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all of the people to the labor there, for they are but few. So there went up there of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, for they chased them from before the gate even to Shebarim, and smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the evening, he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, why have you at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us in the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelled on the other side Jordan? O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turns their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the Lord shall hear of it, and shall environ us around, and cut off our name from the earth. And what will you do to your great name? And the Lord said to Joshua, Get you up, while you lie you thus upon your face. Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I command them, for they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled. Also they have put even among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except you destroyed the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves for tomorrow. For thus says the Lord God of Israel, There is an accursed thing in the midst of you. O Israel, you cannot stand before your enemies until you take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, you shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord takes shall come according to the families thereof, and the family which the Lord shall take shall come by households, and the household which the Lord shall take come man by man. And it shall be that he is taken with the accursed things shall be burned with fire, he and all that he has, because he has transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he was wrought folly in Israel. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarites, and he brought the family of the Zarites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan the son of Carmi, and the son of Zabdi, and the son of Zerah, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And Joshua said to Achan, my son, give you, I pray you, glory to the God of Israel, and make confession to him, and tell me now what you have done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord of God, Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment and 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them, and I took them. And behold, they are hidden in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran to the tent, and behold, it was hidden in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them to Joshua and to all the children of Israel, and laid out before the Lord. And Joshua and all of Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garments, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them to the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, what have you troubled us? The Lord shall trouble you this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, and after they had stoned them with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones to this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor to this day.
And the Lord said to Joshua, fear not, neither you be dismayed. Take all the people of war with you, rise up and go to Ai. See, I have given into your hand the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. And you shall do to Ai and her king as you did to Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall you take for a prey to yourselves. Lay you in ambush for the city behind it. So Joshua arose, and all the people of war, to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose out 30,000 mighty men of valor, and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, behold, you shall lie in wait against this city, even before the city, and not go very far from the city, but be you all ready. And I and all the people that are with me will approach the city, and it shall come to pass, when they come out against us, as at the first, that we will flee before them, for they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city. For they will say, they flee before us, as at first, therefore we will flee before them. Then you shall rise up from the ambush, and seize upon the city, for the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when you have taken the city, that you shall set the city on fire. According to the commandment of the Lord shall you do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush, and abode between Bethel and Ai on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night amongst the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning and numbered the people, and went up, and he and the elders of Israel, before the people of Ai. And all the people, even the people of war, were with him, went up and drew near, and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai, and he took about 5,000 men, and he set them to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liers in wait on the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel in battle, he and all his people, at the time appointed before the plain. But he knew not that there were liers in ambush against him in the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. And they pursued after Joshua, and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went out after Israel. And they left the city open, and pursued after Israel. And the Lord said to Joshua, stretch out your spear that is in your hand toward Ai, for I will give it into your hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place. And they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand, and they entered the city, and they took it, and they hasted, and they set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven, and they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that had fled into the wilderness turned back upon their pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again, and they slew the men of Ai. And the other issued out of the city against them, so they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai they took alive, and they brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass that when Israel had made an end of the slaying of all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness wherein they chased them, and when they were fallen on the edge of the sword until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned to Ai and smote it with the edge of the sword. And so it was that all that fell that day, both men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. For Joshua drew not his hand back, wherewith he stretched out the spear, until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil that city Israel took for prey to themselves, according to the word of the Lord, which he commanded to Joshua. And Joshua burned Ai, and he made a heap of it forever, even to this day. And the king of Ai he hanged on a tree until evening. And as soon as the sun went down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree and cast it into the entering of the gate of the city, and raise thereon a great heap of stone that remains to this day. Then Joshua built an altar to the covenant, an altar to the Lord God of Israel in Mount Ebal, as Moses and the servant of the Lord commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, over which no man has lifted upon any iron. And they offered thereon burnt offerings to the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote upon the stones the copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all of Israel, and their elders, and officers, and their judges stood on this side of the ark, and on that side before the priests, the Levites, which bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, as well as the stranger, as that was born among them, half of them opposite Mount Gerizim, and half of them opposite Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and the curses, according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded that Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversant among them. And it came to pass, when the kings which were on this side of Jordan, in the hills, in the valleys, and in the coasts of the great sea over against Lebanon, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite heard thereof, and they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai, they did work wildly, and went and made as though they had been ambassadors, and took sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles, and old rent, and bound up, and old shoes, and clouded their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua to the camp at Gilgal, and they said to him and to the men of Israel, we come to you from a faraway country, now therefore make you a league with us. And the men of Israel said to the Hivites, perhaps you dwell among us, and how should we make a league with you? And they said to Joshua, we are your servants. And Joshua said to them, who are you, and from where come you? And they said to him, from a very far country. Your servants are come because the name of the Lord your God, for we have heard
the fame of him and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the kings of the Amorites, and were beyond in Jordan, to the Sihon king, and Heshbon, and Og king of Bashan, which was at Ashtaroth. Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke to us, saying, take victuals with you for the journey, and meet them, and with them we are your servants. Therefore now make a league with us. This is our bread. We took hot from our provision out of our houses the day we came forth to you, but behold, now it's dry and moldy. And these are the bottles of wine which were filled and new, and behold, they are rent. And these are the garments and our shoes that have become old by reason of a very long journey. And the men took the victuals and asked them not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them, and he made a league with them, and he let them live. And the princes of the congregation swore to them. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after that they were in league with them, and that they heard, and that's when they heard that they were neighbors, and that they dwelled among them. And the children of Israel journeyed and came to their cities on the third day. Now their cities were Gibeon and Shapira and Beeroth and Kirjatharim. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation swore to them by the Lord God of Israel, and all the congregations murmured against these princes. But all the princes said to the congregation, we have sworn to them by the Lord God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because the oath which we swore to them. And the princes said to them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water to all the congregation, as the princes had promised them. And Joshua called for them, and he spoke to them, saying, Wherefore have you beguiled us, saying, we are very far from you when you dwell among us. Now therefore you are cursed, and therefore shall none of you be freed from being bondmen, and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. And they answered Joshua and said, because it is certainly told by your servants how that the Lord your God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land, and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore we were sore afraid of our lives because of you, and have done this thing. And now behold, we are in your hand, and it seems good and right to you to do to us do. And so did he to them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew him not. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation, for the altar of the Lord, even to this day, in the place which he should choose.
Now it came to pass when Odizedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done in Jericho, and her king, and so as he had done to Ai and her king, and now to the inhabitants of Gibeon, had made peace with Israel, and were among them. That they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, and one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men were mighty. Therefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent to Holam, king of Hebron, and Piram, and Jarmuth, and Japheth, and the king of Lachish, and Debir, and Eglon, saying, come up to me and help me, so that we may attack Gibeon. For he has made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. So the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon, gathered together and went up, they and all their armies, and camped before Gibeon, and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent Joshua at the camp in Gilgal, saying, do not hold back your hand from your servants. Come up to us quickly, save us, and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites who dwell in the mountains are gathered against us. So Joshua went up from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said to Joshua, do not fear them, for I have delivered them into your hand. Not a man of them shall stand before you. Joshua therefore came upon them suddenly, having marched all night from Gilgal. And the Lord routed them before Israel, struck them with great slaughter at Gibeon, chased them along the road of Beth-horon, and struck them down at Azekah and Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they fled before Israel, and on the descent of Beth-horon, that the Lord cast down large hailstones from heaven upon them as far as Azekah, and they died. There, those who were died from the hailstones, than those whom the children of Israel killed with the sword. Then Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day of when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel, and said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the people had revenge on their enemies. Is it not written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and did not hasten to go down for about a whole day. And there had been no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord heeded the voice of a man, for the Lord had fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned all Israel with him to the camp at Gilgal. But these 5 kings had fled and hidden themselves in the cave at Makkedah. And it was told to Joshua, saying, The 5 kings have been found hidden in the cave at Makkedah. So Joshua said, Roll large stones against the mouth of the cave, and set men by it to guard it. And do not stay there yourselves, but pursue your enemies, and attack their rear guard. Do not allow them to enter the cities, for the Lord your God has delivered them into your hand. Then it happened, while Joshua and the children of Israel made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they had finished, that all those who escaped entered fortified cities. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. No one moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then Joshua said, Open the mouth of the cave and bring out those 5 kings to me from the cave. And they did so, and they brought out those 5 kings to him from the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. So it was, when they brought out those kings to Joshua, that Joshua called all the men of Israel, and said to the captains of the men of war who went with him, Come near, put your feet on their necks of these kings. And they drew near and put their feet on their necks. Then Joshua said to them, Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus the Lord will do to all of your enemies against whom you fight. And afterwards Joshua struck them and killed them, and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees until evening. So it was at that time they were going down of the sun that Joshua commanded, and they took them down from the trees, cast them into the cave where they had been hiding, and laid large stones against the cave's mouth, which remain until this very day. On that day Joshua took Makkedah and struck it and its king with the edge of the sword. He utterly destroyed them. All the people who were in it, he let none remain. He did to the king of Makkedah as he had done to the king of Jericho. When Joshua passed from Makkedah and all Israel with him to Libnah, and he fought against Libnah. And the Lord also delivered it and its king into the hand of Israel. He struck it and all the people who were in it with the edge of the sword. He let none remain in it, but did to its king as he had done to the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed from Libnah and all of Israel with him to Lachish, and encamped against it and fought against it. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, who took it on the 2nd day, and struck it and all the people who were in it with the edge of the sword, according all that he had done at Libnah. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came from the help of Lachish. Then Joshua defeated him and his people until he left nothing remaining. From Lachish Joshua passed to Eglon, and all of Israel with him, and they encamped against it and fought against it. They took it on that day and struck it with the edge of the sword. All the people who were in it he utterly destroyed that day, according to all he had done at Lachish. So Joshua went from Eglon, and all Israel with him, to Hebron, and they fought against it. And they took it and struck it with the edge of the sword, its king, all of its cities, and all the people who were in it. He left nothing remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but destroyed it and all the people who were in it. Then Joshua returned, and Israel with him, to Debir, and fought against it. And he took it and its king and all of its cities. They struck them with the edge of the sword and utterly destroyed the people who were in it. He left none remaining. As he had done to Hebron, so he did to Debir and its king, as he had also done to Libnah and its king. So Joshua conquered all the land, the mountain country and the south, and the lowland and the wilderness slopes, and all their kings. He left nothing remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord God of Israel had commanded. Joshua conquered them from Kadesh Birnah as far as Gaza, and from the country of Goshen, even as far as Gibeon. All these kings and their land Joshua took at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp at Gilgal. And it came to pass, when Jabin, king of Hazor, heard these things, that he sent Joab, king of Madon, to the king of Shimron, to the king of Ashkaf, and the kings who were up from the north, in the mountains, in the plain south of Chinneroth, in the lowland, in the heights of Dor on the west, to the Canaanites on the east and on the west, to the Amorites, the Hittites, the Pezerites, the Jebusites, and in the mountains of the Hivites, under Hermon, in the land of Mizpah. So they went out, they and all their armies with them, as many people as sand that is on the seashore in multitude, and with very many horses and chariots. And when these kings met together, they came and encamped together at the waters of Mimram to fight against Israel. But the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid because of them, for tomorrow about this time I will deliver them slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire. So Joshua and all the people of war came with him suddenly by the waters of Mimram, and they attacked them. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, who defeated them and chased them to greater Sidon, to the brook of Meshmeriphath, on the valley of Mizpah eastward. They attacked them, and they left none of them remaining. So Joshua did to them as the Lord had told them. He hamstrung their horses and burned their chariots with fire. Joshua turned back at that time and took Hazor and struck its king with the sword, for Hazor was formerly the head of all the kingdoms. And they struck all the people who were in it with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was none left breathing. Then he burned Hazor with fire. So all the cities and those kings and all their kings Joshua took and struck by the edge of the sword. He utterly destroyed them, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. But as for the cities that stood on the mounds, Israel burned none of them, except Hazor only, which Joshua burned. And all the spoil of the cities and all the livestock the children of Israel took as booty for themselves. But they struck every man with the edge of the sword until they had destroyed them, and they left nothing breathing. As the Lord had commanded Moses, his servant, so Moses commanded Joshua. So Joshua did. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord had commanded Moses. Thus Joshua took all his land in the mountain country, all the south, all the land of Goshen, the lowland, the Jordan plain, and the mountains of Israel and its lowlands, from Mount Halek to the ascent of Seir, even as far as Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon below Mount Hermon. He captured all their kings and struck them down and killed them. Joshua made war for a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel except the Hivites and the inhabitants of Gibeon. All others they took in battle. For it was the Lord to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might utterly destroy them, and that they might receive no mercy, but he might destroy them as the Lord had commanded Moses. And at that time Joshua came and cut off the Anakim from the mountains, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from the mountains of Judah. And all the mountains of Israel Joshua utterly destroyed them and their cities. None of the Anakim were left in the land of the children of Israel. There remained only in Gaza, in Gath, and Ashdod. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord had said to Moses, and Joshua gave it as an inheritance to Israel, according to the divisions by their tribes. Then the land rested from war.
Now these are the kings of the land which the children of Israel smote, and possessed their land on the other side of the Jordan toward the rising of the sun, from the river Arnon to Mount Hermon, and all the plain on the east. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from half Gilead, even to the river Jabbok, which is near the border of the children of Ammon, and from the plain to the sea of Kinneroth on the east, and to the sea of the plain, even the Salt Sea on the east, and the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and from the south under Ashdod Pisgah, and the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants, and dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and reigned in the Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, to the border of the Geshurites and the Maacaatites, and half Gilead, and the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses the servant of the Lord and the children of Israel smite. And Moses the servant of the Lord gave it for a possession to the Reubenites and the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side Jordan on the east, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even to the Mount Halak that goes up to Seir, which Joshua gave to the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions, in the mountains and in the valleys and in the plains and in the springs and in the wilderness and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho won, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel won, the king of Jerusalem won, the king of Hebron won, the king of Jarmuth won, the king of Lachish won, the king of Eglon won, the king of Gezer won, the king of Dabir won, the king of Geder won, the king of Hormah won, the king of Arad won, the king of Libnah won, the king of Adullam won, the king of Makedah won, the king of Bethel won, the king of Tapua won, the king of Hefer won, the king of Aphek won, the king of Lasharon won, the king of Madon won, the king of Hatzor won, the king of Shimromeron won, the king of Achshaph won, the king of Ta'anak won, the king of Megiddo won, the king of Kedesh won, the king of Jokneam of Carmel won, the king of Dor in the coast of Dor won, the king of the nations of Gilgal won, the king of Tirzah won, all the kings 30-1. Now Joshua was old and stricken in years, and the Lord said to him, You are old and stricken in years, and there remains yet very much land to be possessed. This is the land that yet remains, all the borders of the Philistines, and all Geshuri, from Sihor, which is before Egypt, even to the borders of Ekron northward, which is counted with the Canaanite, 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gezatites, and the Ashdodites, the Ashkelonites, and the Gittites, and the Ekronites, and the Avites, from the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Me'arah, that is beside the Sidonians, to affect to the borders of Amorites, and the land of the Gibeonites, and all Lebanon toward the sunrising from Baal-Gad under Mount Hermon to the entering into Hamath. All the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon to Misrephot Mayim, and all the Sidonians, them I will drive out from before the children of Israel. Only divide you it by lot to the Israelites for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. Therefore, divide this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh, with whom the Reubenites and the Gadites have received their inheritance, which Moses gave them beyond Jordan, eastward, even as Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. From Aroer that is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain of Medeba to Dibon, and all the cities of Sihon, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, to the border of the children of Ammon, and Gilead, and the border of the Geshurites, and Maacatites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan to Salcah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth, and in Edrei, who remained of the remnant of the giants, for these did Moses smite and cast them out. Nevertheless, the children of Israel expelled not the Geshurites, nor the Maacatites, but the Geshurites and the Maacatites dwell among the Israelites until this day. Only to the tribe of Levi he gave no inheritance. The sacrifices of the Lord God of Israel made by fire are their inheritance, as he said to them. And Moses gave to the tribe of the children of Reuben inheritance according to their families, and their coast was from Aroer, that is on the bank of the river Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain by Medeba, Heshbon, and all her cities that are in the plain, Dibon, and Bamat Baal, and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahazah, and Kedemoth, and Mephaat, and Kiriataim, and Sibmah, and Zaret Shahar in the mount of the valley, and Beth Peor, and Ashdod Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth, and all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses smote with the princes of Midian, Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, which were chiefs of Sihon, dwelling in the country. Balaam also the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among them that were slain by them. And the border of the children of Reuben was Jordan, and the border thereof. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben after their families, the cities and the villages thereof. And Moses gave inheritance to the tribe of Gad, even to the children of Gad, according to their families. And their coast was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon to Aroer, there is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramat Bizpeh, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir, and in the valley, Beth Aram, and Beth Nimrah, and Sukkot, and Zaphon, and the rest of the kingdom of Sihon king of Heshbon, Jordan and his border, even to the edge of the city of Kinneret, on the other side of the Jordan eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad after their families, the cities and their villages. And Moses gave inheritance to half-tribe of Manasseh, and this was the possession of the half-tribe of the children of Manasseh by their families. And their coast was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 80 cities, and half Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan, were pertaining to the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, even to the one half of the children of Machir by their families. These are the countries which Moses did distribute for inheritance in the plains of Moab, on the other side of the Jordan by Jericho eastward. But to the tribe of Levi, Moses gave not any inheritance. The Lord God of Israel was their inheritance, as he said to them. And these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of children of Israel distributed for inheritance to them. By lot was their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and a half-tribe on the other side of Jordan. But to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part to the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance, as the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah came to Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, said to him, You know the thing that the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, concerning me and you in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and brought him word against as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereupon your feet have trodden shall be your inheritance, and your children's forever, because you have wholly followed the Lord my God. And now behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he has said, these 45 years, even since the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old, and yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for we're both to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof the Lord spoke in that day. For you heard in that day how the Anakims were there, and the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. And Joshua blessed him, and gave to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, to this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel. And the name of Hebron before was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims. and the land had rest from war.
This then was the lot of the tribe of Judah, of the children of Judah, by their families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin. Southward was the uttermost part of the south coast, and their south border was from the shore of the salt sea, from the bay that looks southward, and went out to the south side to Malahacrabim, and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side to Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and circled around Karka. From there it passed toward Asmon, and went out to the river Egypt, and the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast. And the east border was the salt sea, even to the end of Jordan, and their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth-hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth-arabah. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up toward Debir, from the valley of Acre, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is before the going up to Atonement, which is on the south side of the river, and the border passed toward the waters of En-shemesh, and the goings out thereof were at En-rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom, of the south side of the Jebusite. The same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom, westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill to the fountain of the water of Neptua, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron, and the border was drawn to Bala, which is Kirjath-jearim. And the border compassed from Bala westward to Mount Seir, and passed along to the side of Mount Jearim, which is Chesalon, on the north side, and went down to Beth-shemesh, and passed on to Timnah. And the border went out to the side of Ekron northward, and the border was drawn to Sikron, and passed along to Mount Bala, and went out to Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. And the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Judah, round about according to their families. And to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he gave a part among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. And Caleb drove from there the three sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. And he went up from there to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath-sepher. And Caleb said, He that smites Kirjath-sepher and takes it, to him will I give Achsah, my daughter, as a wife. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah, his daughter, as a wife. And it came to pass, as she came to him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she lighted off the ass, and Caleb said to her, What would you? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for you have given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom southward were Kabzeel, and Eder, and Jagur, and Kinnah, and Dimona, and Adadah, and Kadesh, and Hazar, and Ithnan, Ziph, and Telem, and Bealoth, and Hazar, and Hadattah, and Kiriath, and Hezron, which is Hazar, Amam, and Shema, and Moladah, and Hazargada, and Heshmon, and Bethpelet, and Hazar-shual, and Beersheba, and Bizjathcha, Bala, and Lim, and Azam, and Eltadad, and Chesil, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmenah, and Sansannah, and Lebaoth, and Shilhim, and Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29 with their villages. And in the valley, Eshtaol, and Zoriah, and Ashna, and Zanoah, and Eganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Soko, and Azekah, and Sheraim, and Adithaim, and Gederah, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenan, Hadashah, Migdalgad, Dilian, Mizpeh, Joktheel, Lakesh, Bozkath, Eglon, and Kaban, and Laman, and Kithlish, and Gederoth, Beth-Dagon, and Nemah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Jiphthah, and Ashnah, and Nezib, and Kiddah, and Akzib, and Mareshah, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron, with her towns and her villages. From Ekron even to the sea, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod with her towns and her villages. Gaza with her towns and her villages, to the river of Egypt, and the great sea and the border thereof. And in the mountains, Shamir, and Jatir, and Soko, and Dana, and Kirjasena, which is Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemo, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, and Duma, and Eshion, and Janam, and Beth Tapua, and Aphekah, and Humta, and Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Judah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Beth Zur, and Gedor, and Marath, and Benanath, and Elkatan, 6 cities with their villages. Kirjath Baal, which is Kirjath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Betharabah, Middin, and Sekakah, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Jerusalem could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day. And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho, to the water of Jericho to the east, to the wilderness that goes up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel, and goes out from Bethel to Luz, and passes along to the borders of Archi to Adaroth, and goes down westward to the coast of Japhleti, to the coast of Bethoron, the Nether, and to Gezer, and the goings out are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. And the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus. Even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Adarathdar, and Betharan the upper. And the border went out toward the sea to Mikmethah on the north side, and the border went about eastward to Tanath Shiloh, and passed by it on the east to Genoa. And it went down from Genoa to Adarath and to Nerath, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. The border went out from Tapua westward to the river Cana, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim by their families. And the separate cities of the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh. all the cities with their villages. And they drove not out the Canaanites that dwelled in Gezer. But the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites to this day and serve under tribute.
There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. That is, for Maschar, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. Therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. There was also a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abiezar, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Asriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hephtar, and for the children of Shemida. There were the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their families. But Jelophehad, the son of Hephtar, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters. And these are the names of his daughters: Mahalath, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they came near after Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brethren of their father. And there fell 10 portions of Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the side of the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmech, that lie before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand to the inhabitants of Ephthah. Now Manasseh had the land of Tiphia, but Tiphia on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. And the coast descended to the river Cana, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The coast of Manasseh also was on the north side of the river, and the outgoings of it were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea is his border, and they met together in Asher on the north, and in Issachar on the east. And Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Bethshean and her towns, and Ibleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 countries. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxed strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, but did not utterly drive them out. And the children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given me but one lot, and one portion to inherit, seeing I am a great people, forasmuch as the Lord has blessed me until now? And Joshua answered them, If you be a great people, then get you up to the wood country, and cut down for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for you. And the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are of Bethshean and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, You are a great people, and have great power. You shall not have one only lot. But the mountain shall be yours, for it is a wood, and you shall cut it down, and the outgoings of it shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh, and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. And there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet received their inheritance. And Joshua said to the children of Israel, How long are you slack to go to possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers has given you? Give out from among you 3 men for each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall rise and go through the land, and describe it according to the inheritance of them, and they shall come again to me. And they shall divide it into 7 parts. Judah shall abide in their coast on the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their coasts on the north. You shall therefore describe the land into 7 parts, and bring the description here to me, that I may cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. But the Levites have no part among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance, and Gad, and Reuben, and half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond Jordan on the east, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them. And the men arose and went away, and Joshua charged them that went to describe the land, saying, Go and walk through the land, and describe it, and come again to me, that I may here cast lots for you before the Lord in Shiloh. And the men went and passed through the land, and described it by cities into 7 parts in a book, and came again to Joshua to the host of Shiloh. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land to the children of Israel according to their divisions. And the lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the coast of their lot came forth between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. And their border on the north side was from Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north side, and went up through the mountains westward, and the goings out thereof were at the wilderness of Bethaven. And the border went over from there toward Luz, to the side of Luz, which is Bethel, southward, and the border descended to Atroatar, near the hill that lies on the south side of the nether Beth-horon. And the border was drawn from there, and compassed the north of the sea southward, from the hill that lies before Beth-horon, southward, and the goings out thereof were at Kil-hajar-baal, which is Kir-hajar-jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter. And the south quarter was from the end of Kil-hajar-jearim, and the border went out on the west, and went out to the well of waters at Nephtoah. And the border came down to the end of the mountain that lies before the valley of the son of Hinnom, and which is in the valley of the giants on the north, and descended to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of Jebusi on the south, and descended to Enrogel, and was drawn from the north, and went forth to Eth-amesh, and went forth toward Gilead, which is opposite the going up of Adumim, and descended to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben, and passed along toward the side over against Arabah northward, and went down to Arabah. And the border passed along to the side of Beth-hoglah northward, and outgoings of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of Jordan. This was the south coast. And Jordan was the border of it on the east side. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, by the coasts thereof round about, according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho, and Beth-hoglah, and the valley of Keziz, and Beth-harabah, and Zemarium, and Bethel, and Avim, and Terah, and Ophrah, and Chep-har-amane, and Ophdai, and Gaba, 12 cities with their villages, Gibeon, and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mizpah, and Chephrai, and Mozah, and Rakim, and Irpeel, and Teralah, and Zelah, Elath, and Jebusai, which is Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kirjath, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, according to their families. And the second lot came forth to Simeon, even to the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families, and their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah. And they had in their inheritance Bathsheba, or Sheba, and Moladah, and Pereth-shuel, and Bala, and Azim, and Elotad, and Bethuel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Beth-mar-okaboth, and Hazar-ruth, and Bethobeah, and Sheriah, 13 cities and their villages, Ain, Rimmon, and Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities and their villages. And all the villages that were round about these cities, to Baalbir, Ramoth of the south. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families. Out of the portion of the children of Judah was the inheritance of the children of Simeon, for the part of the children of Judah was too much for them. Therefore the children of Simeon had their inheritance within the inheritance of them. And the third lot came up for the children of Zebulun, according to their families, and the border of their inheritance was to Sarid, and their border went up toward the sea, and Maralah, and reached to Dabbetheth, and reached to the river that is before Jochanim, and turned from Sarad eastward toward the sun rising to the border of Chisloth-Tabar, and then goes out to Daberath, and goes up to the Jephthah, and from there passes on along to the east of Gilathar to Iskazim, and goes out to the Ramelah-thar to Neel, and the border compasses it on the north side to the Hanalathon, and the outpourings therefore are in the valley of Jephthah, and Kata, and Natalal, and Shemar, and Idolah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Zebulun, according to their families, these cities with their villages. And the fourth lot came out to Issachar, for the children of Issachar, according to their families, and their border was toward Jezreel, and Shishaloth, and Shunem, and Haphrim, and Shiloh, and Anaharam, and Rabbinth, and Kishion, and Abiz, and Remeth, and Engammon, and Endagoth, and Bezpazaz. And the coast reaches to Tabar, and Shasimiah, and Beth-shemesh, and outgoings to their border were at Jordan, 16 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Issachar, according to their families, the cities and their villages.
And the fifth lot came out from the tribe of the children of Asher, according to their families. And their border was Helkath, Halai, Bitin, and Akshaph, and Elimelech, and Amad, and Mishael, and reaches to Carmel westward, and to Shehor-libnath, and turns toward the sun rising to Beth-dagon, and reaches to Zebulun, and to the valley of Japhahel, toward the north side of Bethemech and Nael, and goes to Kabul on the left hand, and Hebron, and Rehob, and Haman, and Canaan, even to great Zidon. And then the coast turns to Ramah, and to the strong city of Tyre, and the coast turns to Hoshah, and the outgoings thereof at the sea from the coast to Akzib, Umah also, and Aphek, and Rehob, 22 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Asher, according to their families, these cities with their villages. The sixth lot came out to the children of Naphtali, even for the children of Naphtali according to their families. And their coast was from Heleph, from Alan, Zabanim, Adamai, Nekev, Janael, Lakum, and the outgoings thereof were at Jordan. And then the coast turns westward to Aznaf-Debor, and goes out from there to Hukuk, and reaches to Zebulun on the south side, and reaches to Asher on the west side, and to unto Judah upon Jordan, toward the sun rising. And the fenced cities were Zidon, Zer, Hamath, Rakah, and Chinnereth, and Adamah, and Ramah, and Hazor, and Kadesh, and Edrei, and En Hazor, and Aran, and Migdal, Horem, Bathanath, and Beth Shemesh,